Greetings to the members of the class of 1971. It's been a long time. We have a great turnout for this virtual 50th class reunion, and it's a wonderful opportunity to see so many faces that we have not seen in way too many years. 54 years ago, the members of the class of 1971 assembled on the Davidson College campus. We began the process of assimilation into the 1,000-member all-male student body. We quickly came to know the nicknames given to many of our professors, and just a few to remember: T-Bird Tommy, Shouting Sam Maloney, Max the Axe Polly, E-Squared Brown, Kiwi Reed, Deacon Dan Rhodes, Smiling F. Jackson, Skull Bailey, and of course, Pink Ernie Patterson. The following words and phrases bring to mind some of the people, places, and events that we experienced: the freshman cake race, free laundry service, the beanies that we had to wear during the first semester, Cop Linker, no-dose pills, mandatory ROTC and Colonel Outlaw, chapel and the seating chart, spring frolics, the Tangerine Bowl, the Elite Eight, and Charlie Scott's last-second heartbreaking shot to win the game for Carolina. Hattie's, the Grim Baker, the M&M Soda Shop, Lefties, and Whataburger. We lived through some tumultuous times during those 4 years: the assassinations of Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy, Kent State, Vietnam, and the My Lai massacre, Charles Manson and Helter Skelter, the 1969 draft lottery held in December of that year. But there were plenty of good times during this season of growth: the age of Aquarius, a time for peace, love, long hair, and sandals, a time for new rock bands, including Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, the summer of 1969 moon landing, and Woodstock. When we entered as freshmen, the drinking age was 18 and the voting age was 21. After the 26th Amendment was passed in our final year at Davidson, those age restrictions were reversed. And a couple of other interesting points. At the end of 1971, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was in the 900s, or 1/38th of what it is today. The number one song in the nation was John Denver's "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," and we graduated on June 8, 1971, which is 50 years and 2 days ago, and received real sheepskin diplomas. As students, we focused on our attention on our studies and life after Davidson. Today, we look to the past, reminiscing and savoring those memories. That is the purpose of our reunion today. Welcome and thanks for attending. Okay, by the way, we're going to have a toast at the end of the meeting today, so grab your favorite libation and have it handy for the toast. Couple of housekeeping matters for the Zoom. Please stay muted when you aren't speaking, but feel free to send messages privately to one another via the chat feature. If you're comfortable in doing so and have not already changed your Zoom name to your first and last name, you can do so now. You can rename yourself, please no pseudonyms, by clicking the participants button at the bottom of your screen, hovering your mouse over your name, and then clicking the More button. This will help us recognize one another after 50 years. And incidentally, I'm Ed Dobbs, for those who can't tell through the wrinkles. You can direct any technical questions to Judith Rolls or Teddy Chastain, who are on the call with us. Teddy and Judith, wave your hand. We'll know that you're there to help. We have enabled live auto transcription for this call, and if you would like to enable this on your end, you can hover over the live transcription button on your screen and subtitles should appear. Please note that the captions are not always accurate, so we ask for grace and understanding. All right, now let's turn to recognition of our class volunteers who have done a lot of work for this meeting. First of all, the engagement lead volunteers include, and raise your hand or wave your hand, guys, when your name is called: Ted Hefner, David Buck, Ed Schoaf, who doubles as the lead for the Quips and Cranks Committee, consisting of Ed, Keith Onsdorf, and Charlie Ralston. Hopefully all are on the call with us. And then I'd like to recognize the class gift lead volunteers who have, you're going to get a report on their efforts to date. James Bryce, Herb Clegg, Billy Pierce, or Bill Pierce now that he's grown up and mature, and Jack Ballinger. Would like to say a thanks to Marcus Carr and those who joined his back to school class that he presented in May, entitled "Stopping the Bleeding, a Hematologist in Iraq." The recording is available on the reunion website for all of those who would like to hear it. And we have two members of our class who are receiving awards or have received awards. They were announced at Friday's kickoff event, and we'll celebrate them further when we gather in person. Rob Folger received the Distinguished Alumni Award, as did Steve Rohde, both well-deserved honors for those two classmates of ours. And now I've spoken too much. I want to turn it over to somebody you'd rather hear from. It's now my pleasure to introduce President Quillen. She joined Davidson in 2011 and has led the development of new facilities, new partnerships, and new initiatives that further develop students' leadership, integrity, curiosity, and empathy, qualities greatly needed in our world today. 2020 has introduced many new challenges to her role, and she has led Davidson to and through a different but successful, very successful fall semester during a global pandemic. We're pleased to have her join us today at our reunion gathering, and please help me welcome President Quillen to the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ed, and thank you all for allowing me to join your reunion. I know that you're much more interested in seeing each other and renewing friendships and being together as Davidson people always love to do. And one of the special things about Davidson that hasn't changed, I know Davidson has changed a lot since you all were here, and listening to Ed talk about those times maybe reminds us of that. One thing that hasn't changed is that Davidson is a place where people form really deep relationships that last for a lifetime. And we're excited that you're here together with us now, and we really look forward to welcoming you back on campus as soon as that becomes possible for everyone and everyone's able to come. So I thought what I would do really quickly is just maybe give a couple of quick campus updates. I definitely know that you are here to be together and not so much to hear from me. So let me just give a couple of campus updates and then maybe speak to some of the enduring qualities of Davidson that are so evident in the class that we just graduated this spring. So this year, as Ed suggested, we were really pretty focused on managing through this global pandemic. And it was an incredible testament to the Davidson community that we were able to do that as well as we did. Our medical team was amazing. Virtually everyone at Davidson did a job different from the one that they normally do. So Sissy Lyles, who many of you probably know if you stayed at the guest house, she oversees the guest house and she takes care of a lot of external groups who use our campus facilities. Well, she became like the isolation quarantine guru. And so she made sure that our students who had been exposed to COVID-19 or students who tested positive had a place to go and got meals delivered. People who were delivering the meals were faculty and staff members who were taking time away from their families so that they could drive to the Homewood Suites or to the Cedars or to to one of the houses that Davidson owns, where our students in quarantine were staying. So just a huge shout out to the community, because almost everyone here was doing at least 2 jobs. Our faculty members had to learn how to teach in a completely different way and how to build those relationships between faculty members and students that make a Davidson education so special. So the reason I think why we were able to have our students here this year, be in residence on campus, stay together, and keep everybody safe is really because of the incredible dedication and commitment of the people that make Davidson the place that it is, our incredible faculty and staff. Our students were very cooperative. They didn't love it, but they wore the mask. They stayed 6 feet apart. I will say one thing I learned is that 18 to 22-year-olds don't know what 6 feet is. If you tell them to, like, this is 6 feet to them, you say 6 feet apart to them and they're like, okay. And they're, 6 inches apart. So we recognized right away that that wasn't something they weren't going to get that in their heads, but they did the best they could. They really tried hard to obey some pretty strict rules at times, and were our allies in keeping the campus safe. Through all of this, through the challenges that were posed by COVID, the kind of, the fear and the isolation and the sense of loss that COVID gave to all of us, our community continued to do what we do here at Davidson, which is to educate amazing young people for lives of leadership and service. And you can see that in the research projects and the arts projects that our students were able to do this summer. This past year. So in spite of COVID, our students continue to do lab research. We had 2 students win prestigious Goldwater awards for the research that they were doing, one working on cancer therapies and one working on Alzheimer's. Our students in theater did live theater in spite of COVID. In the fall semester, they did a theater production where the audience remained in our cars and drove to different sites on campus, and the actors moved around campus and staged different scenes outside. In the spring, we were able to hold a live theater production in Duke Family Performance Hall with very limited audience. So our students managed to do live theater. All of our musicians practiced outside in masks. Chorale got special masks so that they would be able to sing outside, and they were able to perform at commencement. So our students continue to do what they do every year here at Davidson in spite of the pandemic. We played all of our sports in the winter and spring, so we deferred fall sports to the spring, which meant we were playing every single sport all at the same time. This put an incredible, strain on our facilities and on our athletics team, and they did an incredible job. And we had a really good year, athletically speaking. Football, as I'm sure you know, won the Pioneer Football League. First postseason appearance since y'all were here. Really amazing performance by the football team. Basketball went to NIT. Our women's basketball team had a pretty good season. We went to the finals in women's soccer. The women's lacrosse team had an incredible season, beat a ranked team in Virginia Tech, lost to the team that eventually won the A10 in the tournament, and golf won the A10 championship. In addition to that, we had some amazing individual performances in track and field and swimming. So all of our scholar athletes did an amazing job in spite of the pandemic. But maybe what really speaks to Davidson, in addition to this kind of community that we are, is the care that our community had for others during the pandemic. And you saw that in the outreach that our students did through the Center for Civic Engagement, how they worked to pack groceries and develop remote tutoring programs for children, and think about how to get our seniors to doctor's appointments, and also give them access to vaccines. So this community, while we were undergoing, a difficult time for us, recognized that we are incredibly blessed compared to many others, and turned our attention and our resources and our compassion outward. And you can see that in what our students did this year. And finally, just to kind of close out on the COVID year, our students had real success in getting to where they wanted to be after Davidson. And I'll just speak about a few students. So Langston Stevens, who was a Belk Scholar, ran track here. He won a Watson Fellowship, and he'll be traveling around the world looking at issues around housing and affordable housing. He's very interested in how to ensure and how to address the housing crisis in this country. Katie Turner, point guard for the women's basketball team, is going to the University of Notre Dame to get her MBA. TJ Elliott played football here, is doing Teach for America. So he'll be teaching for the next 2 years. We have 3 or 4 students working at the National Institutes for Health, doing genomics and cancer research. We have students going to Amazon, students going to Google, students going to Bank of America, McKinsey, and Bain. Our students got amazing opportunities because of the hard work they did at Davidson. And they're positioned to go out into the world and follow your example and lead and serve as Davidson graduates. So in spite of the difficulties and the profound sense of sadness and loss and isolation that we felt this year, our students ended up with some pretty significant, thanks to their hard work, really some significant opportunities on graduation. And I know that they will continue in the tradition that you all participated in and lead now of leading and serving in the world as Davidson graduates. So I know you have a lot to do today, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I did just want to thank you for your incredible support of each other and of Davidson through what has been a tough year for everyone, where almost everyone was touched by some sort of COVID loss. And the unity and the coming together of the Davidson community throughout this year meant an incredible amount to me, gave me strength and energy when I wasn't sure, that we were going to be able to do the things we needed to do. And it really supported our students and our amazing team here. So I can't thank you enough for your support of Davidson, for the example of friendship that you set by being here and caring about one another and wanting to renew these relationships that are so specifically and distinctively Davidson, and for your interest in what's going on campus and in our current students. So thank you very much for letting me crash your reunion. And I think now I hand my metaphorical microphone to Herb, right? Here you go, Herb.
And there you go. And thank you so much, Dr. Quillen, for providing those updates. And we particularly appreciate your leadership through the many challenges that COVID has presented this year. And thank you for all that you do for Davidson, for all that you do for us as alums. So we really appreciate your being with us.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce my good friend Bob Ambrose as our 50th reunion poet extraordinaire. Some of you may remember that Bob opted for the 3-2 program in engineering at Davidson. And that meant he got a BS in physics at Davidson in 3 years, a BS in chemical engineering at NC State in 2 years, and a master's in civil engineering at MIT. So he then went on and spent his engineering career with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in various roles, becoming our EPA international expert in surface water quality modeling. Many times I would try to check in with Bob, and he was off to some international site giving a course or assisting some third world country in their water quality. Apparently, unlike most of us, Bob's both sides of his brain seem to work equally well. Since after retirement, he reinvented himself as a poet, writing and performing in the Athens, Georgia community, in what he tells me are bookstores, bars, and at funerals and weddings. He has a website if you want to access that. It's called Reflections in Poetry. He has published a book of poems called Journey to Embarkation. He has 2 more manuscripts in preparation. And Bob graciously has written a poem to commemorate our 50th reunion. So Bob, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Herb. I want to mention in addition to bars, I've also given poetry in churches. So I like to pair those two somehow. As you know, the college years, when you throw us together in close company are intensely communal. At the same time, they're intensely personal. Each one of us had a slightly different college experience. And in our case, as has already been mentioned, we were cursed and blessed to live in really tumultuous times. In my poem, I'm trying to capture elements of all of those, and I hope it stimulates your own memories, your thoughts, and your feelings. To my Davidson class of 71, I'll wait till the screen. To my Davidson class of 71, the summer of love was coming undone when we, the groomed and vetted, primed and ready, settled in freshman dorms. Recall the old world boarding school charm, communal bathrooms down the hall with open showers, doorless stalls. Now picture your buttoned down selves, gentlemen scholars in training, trudging to chapel in Davidson beanies. Consider the privilege of cloistered life where you leave your rooms unlocked and take exams unproctored and feel the pride of big time teams whose athletes are classmates who'd come to be friends. Banish the fear that you don't belong while you fight the tide of assignments that will blight your dreams for life. Suppress the anxious waves of fatigue as you catnap and cram for your first round of reviews. Relax in the grip of a gentle daze after another all-nighter, eking out essays longhand. Then savor once more the textures of youth, the sticky floors of dance halls, the stink of stale beer out back of Hattie's, the squeak of sneakers in Johnston Gym, the spin of a Frisbee against the sky, the arc of a toss on a flickerball field, or late night talk with newfound friends, the taste of shakes at the M&M and burgers in the Wildcat Den. I still smell the tea olive sweetness cutting across the quad on autumn afternoons to tend my empty mailbox. It was a time before I knew Quixote, before I crewed the Pequod or wrestled in the wilds with Enkidu. I came to campus listening to soul, slow dancing to Otis. The Righteous Brothers harmonized my heartbreaks. I left listening to Leonard Cohen, lit up by the late Beatles, decoding secrets between the tracks of the Magical Mystery Tour. I would come to fight my faith as I marked up my boyhood Bible till the pages frayed and the binding broke. Outside, our country was coming apart. War peaked and cities burned, but a tender spirit was stirring inside. In ROTC, I bore an old M1, but wore a covert peace button on my jacket collar for marching drills. I joined that ironic boycott of the whites-only, black-owned barbershop and tutored a townie across the tracks. I picked up litter on Earth Day. Turned on to Thoreau, I found a conviction. To save the world would be my career. The time had arrived when cloister became cell. I broke out early. My degree came in the mail while I backpacked across Europe. I'm happy to have it, wherever it is. And I want to thank all of you classmates here. It's a pleasure to share memories in whatever form. Special thanks to Herb. I really appreciate you having confidence in me and suggesting that I do this poem. It really sent my memory back. And the committee members who sent in their own memories to me to help jog my memories, Ted, Jim Hudson, Bill Pierce, and Ed Schoaf all contributed. Thank you. And then finally, again, thanks to the tech help here, Judith Rolls and Teddy Chastain. Appreciate your help. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Bob. That was wonderful. Really appreciate it. I see clapping hands up, I believe. Yes. Great. Well, hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the program so far. I am Teddy Chastain, Associate Director of Annual Giving here at Davidson. Now we are moving to the breakout group portion of the program, which will give you all an opportunity to meet with smaller groups of classmates and catch up a bit. So there are going to be 2 10-minute breakout group sessions. So you will have 2 different opportunities to catch up with hopefully different groups of classmates on the call. In a bit, you will see a pop-up screen that's going to show some various rooms based on different Davidson experiences that will hopefully resonate with you. And you all will have the opportunity to choose your own journey in selecting which room you would like to be a part of in this first session and in the second as well. We realize many of you have several rooms that you may want to join, but please select one for this first round. And as I mentioned, you will be able to select a different one for the second round. Once the rooms are open and you see the pop-up screen, look for the room you want to be a part of, and you will trace over to the far right-hand side of the pop-up, and there should be a blue join button on the right-hand side that you can click, and it will take you to that breakout group. If you need help moving into a room once the rooms are open, Judith or I can definitely help you in manually assigning you to that room. We will broadcast a 2-minute warning before the breakout room ends to give you all time to wrap up, make sure you've heard from everyone in the group. And if you will give us just a second, we'll get those breakout groups ready, and you'll see that pop up on your screen, and we can go from there. Hope you enjoy your time with one another. You all should see that screen now. And so you'll see the blue join button on the right-hand side for different groups. So the groups are football, basketball, East Dorm, Cannon Dorm, Watts Dorm, lawyers after graduation, physicians after graduation, English and other language majors, economics majors, and baseball. I see people are starting to go into the rooms, which is great.
Yep. And I don't see rooms.
Don't see rooms. Let's see.
I don't either.
I don't
Right.
see any rooms.
Neither do I.
Okay, no problem. We'll get to working on that.
Hey, there's an icon on the bottom.
Okay, breakout rooms. I see the icon.
Excellent. Thanks, Herb.
Oh, okay.
Really?
God.
So if you, to Herb's point, you should either see a more button on the bottom part of your screen. And if you click that, one of the more options should be breakout rooms, or you may just see a breakout room button at the bottom of your screen as well. And we'll let people have a few minutes to navigate the technology and get in there. And then whoever is left, continue to raise your hand if you're still having issues after navigating it for a moment, and we will manually put you in those rooms.
I'm trying to get to East. I don't see any buttons.
Okay. You say your name. I'm sorry. I'm in a speaker.
Yes, Paul Rowland.
Okay. Thank you. And which room are you trying to get to?
East.
East. Okay.
I'm on a tablet, so it doesn't show it.
Don't be shy. If there's a room you want to go into, give us a shout out and we can put you there.
Still have a lot of people who haven't joined one.
Just make sure you unmute so we can hear you. I think some of you were talking muted.
Ed, I'm trying to get into the English and other language majors.
All right, I got you.
Homer Sutton.
Yep, I gotcha.
Judith, this is Jack Ballinger. I'm trying to get into the football.
Okay, Jack, I'll put you there.
Thank you, Katie.
Yep, just give us a shout. We can do it real quick for you.
Judith, this is Ed Schoaf. I'm trying to get to Canton.
Cannon? All right, Ed, I gotcha.
Kate, this is Greg Scott. I'm trying to get to lawyers.
Okay, Greg.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
John
Herb
Moore.
here, Judith. I'm trying to get to physicians.
Was that Herb?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Herb, I got
John Moore, I believe I heard you speak up. John Moore,
Yes.
where
I
would you
don't-
like to
I
go?
don't see Rooms, yeah. There's no.
We can put you in one. Which room would you like to go in?
Comes and goes. Okay. Thank you.
Do you have one you would like to go in, John?
I'm looking, I'm just finally
Okay.
got to choose.
Gotcha.
Anyone else have a room they're trying to get to?
Yes, this is John Bryan, English and other languages.
Absolutely.
Bob Haggard, if you'll put me with the lawyers, please.
Sure, we can do that.
I'm John Moore and I'm trying to get to physicians after graduation.
Got you.
Fine, okay, I got it joined.
Yep.
Great.
Anyone else that we can help?
James, I see you talking, but we can't hear you. And John Saunders, I believe you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
James.
All right,
Can you
I
hear-
would like to go to Cannon, please.
I will put you in Cannon.
All right, and
Thank
John, where are you trying to go, John?
Physicians after graduation.
Okay, we gotcha.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, Mike or Ronald, is there a room you'd like to join?
Basketball. Ron.
I
Still.
gotcha.
Mike, do you have a preference?
Well, I'm afraid I was not a jock and I did not become a lawyer or a doctor. I don't really fit in real well with any of these
Would
groups.
you like to go into one of the dorm selections?
I was on a different hall from the folks listed for my dorm and therefore did not get to know them that well.
Okay, not a problem. Are you able to see the pop-up, Mike, at all? Because the likelihood of the groups actually talking about the topic is very so if you see a group of people that you would like to connect with, we can just put you in that room.
Absolutely. And you don't have to have been an English major to join the English major group. So or played football to be in the football group.
Well, let's see. Well, I didn't play basketball at the collegiate level, but I certainly was a Wildcat fan of that sport. Can you put me there?
Excellent. Yep, that's a big group of people. We're happy to put you there and hope you enjoy.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Wonderful. Okay, I think everyone is back. Hope you all enjoyed your time in the breakout rooms. Hope it was a lot of fun to catch up with classmates. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bill Pierce. Bill, you're muted, by the way.
Thank you, Teddy. And hello, classmates. This is great. I had the privilege of working this year with fellow class ambassadors, James Bryce, Jack Ballinger, and Herb Clegg. We want to give you an update on our class fundraising. I'm proud to announce that the class of 1971 has raised a record in fiscal year 2021, a record $194,000, 188. 58% of our classmates have made a gift to Davidson this year. only 2 other reunion classes exceeded 58%, and our total reunion class gift, including pledges and planned gifts, totals $543,188. Giving back is a way to show how important Davidson has been in our own lives. I applaud our college for establishing the Davidson Trust, which meets 100% of calculated financial need for accepted students. That comes at a high cost to the college. Our class gift is one way we can ensure that future students have access to the same incredible experiences that we did. We still need 21 donors to reach our ambitious 70% participation goal. Help us reach that goal by giving and encouraging others to give by June 30th. Thanks to everyone for being here and for making the class of 1971 one of Davidson's most loyal. Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. This is Ed's show. For me, the reunion is great for 2 reasons. One is remembering our past times at Davidson and connecting with classmates in the present time. For the 50th reunion, the college sponsors an anniversary edition of our yearbook that will touch on both the past and the present. Keith Onsdorf and Charlie Rossland and I are working on some fun features from the past, but the present is really up to you. Each classmate will have a full page to share memories, updates, and pictures. We can't make this stuff up. The information on your page comes from your surveys. So all of us have been sent links to those surveys, but if anyone needs a new link, they can check the class reunion webpage or email Judith Rolls at Davidson for a new link. By all means, finish your surveys by the end of this month. A bunch of people have done so already. You can help us by reaching out to your friends, urging them also to finish the surveys. This fall, the yearbooks will be published first online, but when we do meet in person, every participant will receive a printed copy. So don't miss out. It'll be fun. So I know that you all are thirsty, so I'm going to turn it back over to Ed Dobbs for a toast.
Thank you, Ed. Couple of reminders before the toast. First of all, the college is working on dates for our in-campus celebration, and further information regarding that will be shared when it becomes available. I would like to propose a toast. I've been asked to do so, and I welcome the opportunity. The toast I would like to make is, first, I would like to toast our parents and friends and supporters who made it possible for each of us to attend Davidson College. Secondly, I'd like to toast our professors who challenged our thinking and enriched our minds. Third, to those members of our class who are no longer with us. They meant a lot to us then, and they still do today. They're not forgotten. Fourth, to our alma mater, Alinda Lux Ubi Orta Libertas. Thank you, Mom, for making me take 4 years of Latin. And finally, to each of us for graduating from a rigorous academic institution, engaging in the world afterwards with leadership and service, and remaining vertical so far to this day. To all of us in the Davidson College, hope you have a glass. I'm gonna tip mine right now. Thank you so much for being with us. And I can't wait for the day when we'll be able to see each other in person.
Thank you so much, Ed. Cheers to you all. I hope you all have enjoyed this program and enjoyed time together. We are not going to turn off the Zoom quite yet. We want to leave some time for you all to catch up more organically amongst yourselves. For anyone who would like to stay on, we are going to leave the Zoom room open. So feel free to unmute, put it in gallery view, and chit chat amongst yourselves. And hope you all have a great night.
Thank you, Teddy. You did a great job, you and Judith.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy,
Thank you.
Judith, and Teddy.
Thank you.
If y'all are old enough